So this is about using assistive technology devices and strategies for a math lesson. So this is a mathematics lesson about ways to make 10 or addition to the sum of 10. It targets students performing on a first grade level, and a couple of the first grade standards that it addresses are recognize and describe with fluency part-whole relationships for numbers up to 10, and demonstrate fluency with addition and subtraction within 10. These are the materials that will be needed for the lesson: smartboard projector, laptop with smart notebook for the teacher, and if possible for the students, because there are a couple of student activities that they can do on their own laptops. Velcro dots, cardstock, laminator and laminating film, tactile manipulatives like counting blocks or circular counters, pencil and paper, and dry erase markers. So for the procedures, it'll start by bringing students to the carpet to show the introductory video. Then it'll move into the online product from there. Students can move to a laptop center or a laptop table where they can do a few of the activities that they can do on their laptops. Then it will transition into the offline product where students can go to their seats and there's a picture with book with hands-on activities that the student can complete, and then finally it'll end with the assessment activity. Now to go through the online and offline product for the adaptations. Some of the adaptations that are contained in the online product are sound clips to match the written word for students with visual difficulties, large font for students with visual difficulties, and color contrast also for students with visual difficulties. And some of the adaptations that were made for students with learning disabilities are there's extra review of prerequisite skills. There are a lot of visuals and examples in there for the students, and there are virtual manipulatives for the students to work with. I'm going to show the online product and how that works. Alright, so this is ways of making 10. These are some of the visuals, just visual examples of 10. Each word and phrase and each picture has a little sound icon that you can play. I don't know how well it's going to show up on the video, but let's try it.
Let's review. Examples of 10.
Whoop. Let me try this one.
10's frame.
Alright, so and the reason that those are there are to assist students with visual impairments. Also, you can see the color contrast is there to assist students with visual impairments, and the font is relatively large so that it can be read by all students and makes the activity more accessible. Alright, and then here are the visual examples again. A review of counting to 10. There's also a manipulative that students can use to slide through the numbers 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 10. A review of how to use the tens frame. Students can slide the blocks in to each slot to remind them of how to use this and how to count the blocks once in there. Also a sample equation, 3 plus 2, 3 orange blocks, 2 blue ones. Next thing is looking at a thing and asking, does this make 10? They can check their answer with a magnifying glass and see that yes, it does. Again, the color contrast, the orange to the light blue. Does this make 10? We can look and use the magnifying glass. No, it doesn't. And then how do you know? Because there are slots that aren't filled. Alright, so let's move on. Alright. Does this make 10? Here the students have hands-on manipulatives that they can use to slide into the tens frame and find out. The hands-on manipulatives are an adaptation for students with learning disabilities. Oh, there's me. And we can see from putting all of these into the tens frame that no, it does not make 10. Magnifying. And then we could do the same thing down here, and there are 10 of those blocks, so yes, that one does make 10. Now this is a page that the students can do on their own if they have their own laptops. They can do each of the problems, just take through the 1, 6 plus 4. So what we would do is we would take 6 gray ones. But what the students would do is they would take 6 gray blocks and then 4 red ones. And then they can use the magnifying glass to check their answer. Oh, over here. And yes, it does make 10. And the hands-on. And the next one is which tens fact is this? So they can count the cubes. There are 4 red ones and 6 gray ones. So that tens fact would be 4 plus 6. Then we can remove the box and check underneath, and we can see 4 plus 6. That this tens fact is 4 plus 6. Now coming down here, here's another interactive page where the students can use their own laptops, match the tens fact. So it must be down here. So here for we'll do the first one. Here you see there are 7 gray ones and 3 red ones, so that would be 7 plus 3. So I'll slide that up here, and now I can check either by clicking the sound bite
7 plus 3.
or moving the question mark up here. And here we're looking for ways, what do we need to make 10? 6 plus what is 10? So slide 6 gray ones over here. I could have done this with an infinite cloner, I'm thinking now. And then, now that we have the 6 over there, what do we need to make 10? There are 4 empty spaces, so we need 4 red ones to make 10. And then we use the magnifying glass to check. 6 plus 4 makes 10. So this is another page that students can use their own laptops to do. On this one, we are looking at what do we need to make 10. So here we'll just look at the first one. We have 5 gray blocks. So use the infinite cloner to slide up. We'll have 5 empty spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and students can see from using the virtual manipulatives that 5 plus 5 is 10. They can check by clicking on the orange box here and see that 5 plus 5 is 10. Now moving to the next slide, this is just some additional extension activities that the students can do. Now to go back to the PowerPoint, these are some of the adaptations used for the offline product. The offline product is a picture activity book. Color contrast is black on white, so that makes it the words easy to read for students with visual difficulties. Large font is also used to make it easier to read for students with visual difficulties. For students with learning disabilities, there's a lot of review of prerequisite skills, a lot of visual examples, and virtual manipulatives. So here, let's take a look at the offline product. So this is the cover page. There's also pictures in here just pictures of each of the words to make it easier to read for students who have difficulty with reading. That's throughout the book. There are also Velcro tabs for students with limited mobility, so that one side of the Velcro tab, so that it makes the pages easier to turn. And here you can see it a little bit more on this side. And then the first page is count to 10, a review of counting to 10. Then the next page is make 10 is just a example of making 10 or a review of making 10 with a tens frame. And then that's the page completed. And then can we make 10 with this tens frame and the amount of counters that we have? And you can see after placing the counters on the tens frame that no, we can't. Can we make 10 with this tens frame with the amount of counters that we have? And you can see after placing them on that yes, we can. Now for this page, students are going to match the tens frame to the appropriate tens fact. And that's what they did. And on this page, students are looking at a tens frame that already has 4 circles in it, and it's saying how can we make 10, or how many more do we need to make 10? So they use the counters. 4 plus 6 makes 10. And then on this page, they are matching the number to complete the tens fact. And I'll go back to the PowerPoint. So those are the adaptations, and that's it.